Last week we had the leg review into MPs' expenses. MPs are whinging that the reforms planned will leave them living in hardship. So I decided to send out our Intrepid Guy news reporters to find out, how do politicians live? Emily is somewhere in central London.
This is nice, isn't it? Who could live on this street?
What's it like where you are, Emily?
Well, Guido, it's a cold day in hell, but we're here to find out which would-be Prime Minister, millionaire politician lives in this house. Can you guess it, Guido?
That looks like an easy one. Dave?
Guido, you should know better. Certainly not. It's the Baron of Foy, the Baron of the many, not of the few. And I think it's clear that the Baron of Foy certainly isn't afraid to live among the common financiers and bankers of this country.
How true it is. How does a public servant like Baron Manson afford to live like that? They say time is money. It seems no one's time is more valuable than Lord Manson's. My friend Nick Ferrari tried to find out just how valuable Lord Manson's time is.
You have worn a £21,500 watch.
And nor do I.
Is that how much is your watch worth?
I'm not going to discuss that because I've come on
That's
your
a fair
radio.
question,
No,
sir.
it isn't, because I've come on your radio not to discuss the watch I wear, but the country, the policies the Labour Party
But as
has to
business
offer.
secretary, and you're lecturing, you're speaking to your party, can I not know the value of your watch?
No.
Well, Lord Manson won't tell us how much his Petite Philippe watch costs, so I've sent another of our daring Guy News correspondents out to Hatton Garden. Tory Bear.
That's right, Guido. We've come down to Hatton Gardens to find out just how much Peter Manson's watch is worth. He refused to say on the radio what he paid for it, so we've come to find out. But something tells me he didn't pay for it second hand. So Patrick Philippe watches, what's the going price range, please?
Well, I mean, we deal in pre-owned watches, and I suppose we sell them from about £4,000 up to whatever you could ever imagine spending. I mean, some of them work in £500,000. They're quite rare.
So it's a pretty serious bit of kit then, if you got one of those.
No, they are considered the elite. I mean, they're considered the Rolls-Royce of watches, basically.
Well, Patek Philippe refused to talk to us, and they wouldn't tell us how much their watches cost, or even which one was the best one for the Dark Lord. However, what I do know is if I was a teacher or a nurse or anyone on the kind of national average wage, it would take me over a year to save every single penny before I could be Peter Manson, which sometimes I wish I was. But that's another story. This is Tory Bear reporting for Guy News TV.
That's another story I'd really like to hear. Now over to Emily, who really is this time at Dave's place.
Yes, that's right, Guido. It's David Miliband.
Miliband?
Yes, David Miliband. We all know David Miliband as a man who stands up for social justice, a man who isn't afraid to take away from the inherited wealth of the few to give to the many. It's surely then a testament to David Miliband's political courage that he bravely inherited this wonderful Regent's Park pad right behind me. And he seems to be having a bit of work done. Hope it's not on expenses.
Emily, that's all very well, but I wanted you to go to the David who's going to be Prime Minister. Prime Minister, Emily.
And now, Guido, we really are outside a prime ministerial abode, because we're outside the house of a man whose government governed for the people and by the people. And we're here to see how he lives among the people. How much do big townhouses around here usually go for?
Well, the Georgian townhouses can go, according to the size of them, from anything from about £1.25 million up to £4 million plus.
Well, Guido, we've seen the houses, we've talked to the estate agents, and one thing we've found out for sure: it's a good thing to be a people's politician in the Labour Party. This is Emily Nomates for Guy News.
Isn't it a bit rich for Lord Manson to call the Labour Party the party of the many, not the few, when on his arm he has a £20,000 watch?
What's worse, Mr. Speaker, is that they're cutting expenditure so that they can help the few with inheritance tax cut when we're the party of the many. Now let him say that he's abandoning inheritance tax cuts.
Isn't it a bit rich for politicians like David Miliband to criticise inherited wealth when he himself lives in an inherited mansion? The hypocrisy leaves me frothing with rage. Anyway, the other news this week. The most important news, never mind Afghanistan, never mind the BNP on Question Time, was BISCUITGATE.
Are we really going to spend another 6 months with a Prime Minister who cannot give a straight answer, who cannot pass his own legislation, who sits in his bunker, not even able to decide what sort of biscuits he wants to eat?
But this isn't the first time Gordon's had problems with food choices.
So I like Chinese food, Indian food, I like English food, British food, I like French food, I like almost everything.
You're perfect. I mean, you can have anything.
I think it would be steak.
Let's watch the instant replay.
So I like Chinese food, Indian food, I like English food, British food.
Traditional.
I like French food, I like almost everything.
European. See how he dithered? He couldn't give an answer. Even the child goes Paxman on him to make a decision.
You're perfect. I mean, you can have anything.
I think it would be steak.
Bang goes the vegetarian vote.